As Prince Harry sat down last week with the BBC, there was one thing that truly was preying on his mind. It wasn't necessarily the uncouth statements that he made about senior members of his family, of course, including his father, who he claimed he didn't know how much longer he had left to live. I mean, the more you think about that statement, the more shocking it really is, isn't it, to go on international television, sit down and basically state something that is nothing to do with you, and you've openly admitted you don't know how well, in fact, your father is getting on because you have no contact with him. That's the problem. Now, moving forward, literally, earlier this week, quite frankly, for Prince Harry, something happened that he'd been dreading for literally years, and it played out for the world to see. As ever, let me explain. Chum's, nice to see you today. Thank you so much as ever for taking the time out to join me. And can we just say a big congratulations to everybody that was involved in the wonderful concert of Victory in Europe inside, of course, Whitehall on the Mall. What a terrific turnout. What a nice evening, let me tell you. Everybody was praying that he didn't, you know what it's like. You do a big thing like that and you just kind of know, don't you? Just at the 11th hour, something negative can happen. I thought, I don't know about you, but I thought His Majesty the King's speech was terrific, just hitting the right note. And it is very difficult, you know, whatever people think about Charles, do cut him a little bit of slack, because to speak about, you know, your grandfather and indeed your late mother on the world stage and keep your emotions in check is not easy, trust me. I know what that sort of thing is like, and for him to do it, I know he's still very effective, as naturally anybody is who loves a wonderful parent like the late Queen. It's still good and bad days, trust me. That's what I've been told. But back to this particular story of the day, as I say, you know, Prince Harry, interesting really, because he always thought he was like the belle of the ball, you know, the one that everybody liked, everybody sort of worshipped, thought he was great. And as I pointed out, very, very popular until his marriage to the cable TV actress Meghan Markle. Not blaming her entirely, lots of sides to that, both sides in fact. But what's fascinating is how quickly it all plummeted, because quite frankly, he couldn't sit down and he couldn't really sort of behave, could he, you know? Well, she's kept in the background. He's gone on international television and trashed his family alongside her. But some people might say he's taken the harder stance. But you see, Harry always felt that the British public would always have him to their hearts. This is all thanks to his late and beautiful mother, Princess Diana. But time marches on. Hard to believe it's 30 years down the line very soon as to when we sadly lost her. I don't know where that time has gone, do you? But, you know, I remember it literally like yesterday. I think it is the Kennedy moment, as they say. But what's interesting now is that Harry realises, quite frankly, as he sits over in Montecito, and I was told from an excellent source, literally watches every aspect of royal life, particularly the victory celebrations this week, the VE Day celebrations and commemorative, of course. Harry watches everything. Now, according to him, he just watches it with a curiosity of the fact that, you know, it's the life he's left behind and moved away from. Insiders truly know it's the life that he really truly misses, and it's the one thing that apparently he has a lot to say once he's watched it on the TV or indeed online. But it was this particular footage, that's right, Prince George chatting to all the veterans at that wonderful afternoon tea party in Buckingham Palace alongside his father and his mother, the Prince and Princess of Wales, William and Catherine. Why did this hurt? Well, according to the source, Harry basically realises that actually there you have a very sort of charismatic 11-year-old boy, a little bit shy naturally at that age, but literally fulfilling a royal duty and making people feel good about themselves, and more importantly connecting with history. You know, as one of the veterans said to George, and I have this on great authority, he said he was so pleased that George was taking the time out to take a chat with them, simply because he said, you know, very soon there won't be any of us left to sit down and tell our stories too. George, apparently behind the scenes too, also was very moved, but not as moved as Prince Harry, because he knows that now, literally, his time is finite. You know, while he was popular, while he was the one that everybody wanted to meet, and the funkle uncle, as he liked to describe himself, well, now literally behind the scenes he's cut himself off and people simply see him as a whinger. Prince George, alongside his father, proved on the world stage that they are the future. And it must be very hard hitting if you're Harry, because it's like a pop star who's suddenly no longer gracing the charts. Reality bites, but in this particular instance, literally on the world stage. Neil Sean in the very heart of London.